Hello football fans, welcome to United Home. Here you'll get breaking transfer news, match updates, and exclusive inside training content. Show your support by liking the video, commenting your thoughts, sharing with other fans, and subscribing to join the United Home family. Barcelona candidate addresses Marcus Rashford transfer as Man United get decision date. Marcus Rashford's signing for Barcelona from Manchester United permanently this summer could depend on who wins the Catalan club's upcoming presidential election. Barcelona preliminary presidential candidate Xavier Villajoana believes the Catalan club should consider re-signing Jan Virgili before deciding whether to make a permanent move for Marcus Rashford during this summer's transfer window. Rashford's loan deal gives Barcelona an option to sign the England international for £26 million. However, they also have a clause that enables them to bring Virgili back to the club a year after selling him to Mallorca. The teenage winger has 6 assists for them in La Liga during his first season of senior football. Rashford, in comparison, has 10 goals and 13 assists, but is 9 years Virgili's senior. Villajoana, a former Barcelona executive who was head of La Masia, brought up Virgili when discussing the possibility of signing Rashford permanently. He told ESPN, "I am someone who believes you should always look in-house first, as I've always said, and then look outside depending on the characteristics of the players you have. For example, I want to give the example of Jan Virgili, who is currently playing for Mallorca. He's a great winger. I would maybe look at exercising the clause to re-sign him as an option, for example, rather than paying the Rashford clause." That said, it's not just the president who arrives and makes the decision. The president arrives, puts things on the table, alternatives are considered, it's discussed, and a decision is made. What I am clear on is that if signing Rashford is considered to be the best decision from a sporting point of view, the money will be there to make it happen. Villajoana is one of 4 confirmed presidential candidates for the 15th March election. Joan Laporta is standing for re-election, while Marc Syria and Victor Font, who also stood in the last elections 5 years ago, are his other opponents. Manchester United's exciting team for FA Youth Cup glory: JJ Gabriel, Chido Obi and Kai Rooney. Man UTD's youngsters are through to the quarter-finals of the FA Youth Cup after beating Oxford United earlier this week. Manchester United are looking to extend their rich history in the FA Youth Cup this season. United have won the competition more than any other club, and Darren Fletcher is hopeful of clinching the trophy again. Fletcher returned to manage the under-18s after serving as first-team caretaker for 2 matches. The Scot was offered the chance to be part of Michael Carrick's backroom staff, but he decided to return to his coaching role in the academy, in which he has plenty of young talent at his disposal. The U18s were knocked out of the Youth Cup semi-finals by eventual winners Aston Villa last season. They have the talent to take it one step further. So here are 5 players spearheading their campaign. Chido Obi dropped down to U18 level for the first time in 11 months when he started against Derby County in the FA Youth Cup last month. The Youth Cup is for players who are under the age of 18 on August 31st of the current campaign. Obi celebrated his 18th birthday in November, making him eligible. Obi started for the U18s again in their Youth Cup win against Oxford on Wednesday, but he did not play for the U18s in their run-of-the-mill league fixture against Wolves this weekend. The Youth Cup is the pinnacle of youth football, and playing Obi in the competition is a statement of intent from United. The youngster has scored 2 goals in 2 games so far. Jim Thwaites has a name befitting of an English player in the 1950s, but he would be regarded as an extraterrestrial if he played in that decade due to his incredible ball-striking technique. Thwaites has already built a reputation as a dead ball specialist. He has scored several excellent free kicks during his time in the academy, and added another to his highlight reel in the U18 Manchester derby last week. The 18-year-old was absent in December and January due to injury, and was a big miss in the early rounds of the Youth Cup. However, Thwaites is firing again and will be key in the competition. JJ Gabriel is just 15 years old, but he doesn't need any introduction. The supremely talented teenager is playing well above his age group and making light work of tearing apart United's opponents. Gabriel has scored 16 goals in 20 academy games this season and has already trained with the first team on a handful of occasions. The youngster was close to leaving United in the summer, but Jason Wilcox and Omar Barada were involved in an 11th-hour meeting to keep him at the club. Each of the United Youth Cup winning teams has had a poster boy. Gabriel is this generation's star man. MUTV subscriptions are probably selling like hotcakes just so fans can watch him. Godwill Kukonki has plenty of experience playing with the U21s, and he is another who has dropped into the Youth Cup in a clear signal of intent. The defender has played at left-back and centre-back so far in the academy, but his long-term future is expected to lie in central defence. Kukonki's presence is huge at the back, and he will help to provide a solid defensive foundation in the competition. The 18-year-old is also excellent at playing out with the ball at his feet. There have been early comparisons made between the exciting Kukonki and Manchester City defender Josko Gvardiol, and he is a rare option because he is a left-footed defender. If Kai Rooney isn't involved much in the Youth Cup for the remainder of this season, the silver lining is that he will still be eligible for the competition for another 2 campaigns. The 16-year-old made his debut in the competition against Derby at Old Trafford, but was not included in the squad to face Oxford. Fletcher can call upon players who have plenty of U21 experience in the competition, so Rooney did well to make his debut in the Youth Cup just a month after turning 16. Rooney is left-footed and drifts in from the right wing after his position switch, and he's been able to craft his finishing technique under the guidance of one of the best strikers the game has ever seen. Manchester United confirmed travelling squad members versus West Ham as teenager included again. Man Ut face West Ham in the Premier League on Tuesday, as Michael Carrick looks to make it 5 wins in a row since being appointed head coach until the end of the season. Teenager Tyler Fletcher is in the Manchester United squad for the trip to West Ham on Tuesday, after coming off the bench to make his debut in the win against Tottenham at the weekend. United took the train from Stockport to London on Monday afternoon, ahead of the fixture at the London Stadium tomorrow night, when Carrick will be looking to continue his perfect start to life as the club's latest head coach. Saturday's 2-0 win against Tottenham was a 4th successive win for United under Carrick and Fletcher, 18, followed in the footsteps of twin brother Jack by making his first team debut this season, coming off the bench in the 89th minute. Carrick had already ruled Mason Mount and Matthijs de Ligt out of the trip to the capital, although Mount is expected back when United face Everton in 2 weeks. Patrick Dorgu is out for a couple of months with a hamstring injury. Photographers snapped 20 players boarding the train, and the only member of the squad from Saturday who wasn't seen was Lenny Yoro, although that doesn't necessarily mean he won't be involved. 3 of the 20 were goalkeepers, and with Tom Heaton likely to drop out of the matchday squad, it would still leave United 1 player short of naming 9 substitutes. United will face a West Ham team who have just started to find some form. Although they remain in the relegation zone, they have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League games and will present a different kind of test for Carrick, who is looking to continue a perfect start since being appointed head coach until the end of the season. "I think you've got to go into the game understanding the situation of both teams," he said.